Hello students. Today we are going to study about chemical reaction and equation chapter number 3 from science 1. In earlier standard we have seen how compounds are formed by chemical combination of elements. We have also learned that the driving force behind formation of a chemical bond is to attain an electronical configuration with a complete octet. The atoms attain a complete octet by giving, taking, or sharing of electron with each other. Some of the scientists of the 18th and 19th centuries carried out fundamental experiments on chemical reaction. They proved from their experiment that during chemical reaction, composition of matter changes and that change remain permanent. On the contrary, during physical change, only the state of a matter change, and this change is often temporary in the nature. Now let's see the phenomena where the chemical reaction take place in our day-to-day life. Number 1, when we talk about the transformation of ice into the water, cooking of food. Number 3, ripening of fruit. Number 4, milk turned into the curd. Number 5, evaporation of water. Number 6, digestion of food in the stomach. Number 7, size reduction of naphthalene ball exposed to air. Number 8, staining of Shahabadi or Karappa tiles by lemon juice. Next, breaking of a glass object on falling from the height. Now children, we very known about the chemical reaction. Now, a chemical process in which certain substances react together to form some new substance having different property is called a chemical reaction. The substances which take part in a chemical reaction are called reactant, and the substance formed in a chemical reaction are called product. In a chemical reaction, the amount of reactants decrease, whereas that of a product increases with time until the reaction is over. Describing a chemical change, we have to first see the indication of the chemical reaction. Number 1, evolution of a heat or a sound. Number 2, production of a gas. Number 3, formation of a precipitate. See here the precipitate, the yellow color part. Next is a color change. Here you see the two diagram. The picture is given about the color change. Now when we talk about the next, the sign of a chemical reaction, there are 5 main signs that indicate a chemical reaction has taken place. The very first is change in color. Next, change in odor. Next, production of a new gas or vapor. Next, input or release of energy. Next, difficult to reverse. Now, when we talk about the chemical equation, depict the kind of the reactant and product and the relative amount in a reaction. When you see here, the equation is given 4Al S plus 3O2 G arrow 2Al2O3S. Now how we read is, we have to read like this: aluminium plus oxygen give rise to aluminium oxide. Now this is your aluminium, but it is react with oxygen, it give rise to aluminium oxide. Now when we talk about aluminium oxide, here upside you see the real picture of aluminium oxide. Now if we say this equation, the left hand side Al and O plus O2 is your reactants, and the right hand side which is there is your product. Now the letter which is there, S, G, L are the physical state of compounds. The number which is given in front of are called stoichiometric coefficient. That means in front of Al you are finding 4 is given, or in front of O2 you finding 3 is given. This all are a coefficient. Now when we talk about the chemical reaction, you see that the aluminium oxide is used on sandpaper, which I already display on my right hand side. Now when we write the equation, the chemical equation about the aluminium plus oxygen give rise to aluminium oxide. If we say 4 gram of aluminium plus 3 gram of oxygen yield 2 gram of aluminium oxide, this one is a wrong. Because we don't have to say about the gram. The equation means the 4 aluminium atoms or the 4 atoms of aluminium plus 3 oxygen molecules yield 2 molecule of aluminium oxide. Now when we talk about the chemical equation, because the same atom are present in the reaction at the beginning, that is called reactant, and at the end, that is called product, the amount of a matter in a system does not change. The law of conservation of matter says that the law of conservation of mass, or a principle of mass conservation, state that for any system close to all transfer of the matter and energy, the mass of a system must remain constant over time. As the system mass cannot change, so quantity can neither be added nor be removed. So student, please listen carefully this sentence. So quantity can neither be added nor be removed. Now let's try this. We have to just do this experiment. Now for this experiment, the apparatus what we are using, that is the test tube. Then we are using the conical flask. Then balance for weighing. The chemical what we are using is your sodium chloride and silver nitrate. Now the procedure is, take the sodium chloride solution in a conical flask and silver nitrate solution in the test tube. Tie a thread to the test tube and insert it carefully into the conical flask. Make the conical flask airtight by fitting a rubber cork. Weigh the conical flask with the help of a balance. Now tilt the conical flask and mix the solution present in the test tube with the solution in the conical flask. Weigh the conical flask again. Now when we talk about these two conical flasks, the first when we are weighing the conical flask, this one, here the balance show 300.23 gram, right? Now when we mix that, when we tilt the test tube in the conical flask, when the silver nitrate mix with sodium chloride, and then we weigh, what we are going to get? Here we are going to get a same weigh on the balance, that is 300.23 grams. Now when we talk about the equation which is given upside, here the equation which is given, silver nitrate plus sodium chloride gave rise to silver chloride plus sodium nitrate. This is your word equation. Now the next is the chemical equation. When we talk, here we are using the formula. Here AgNO3 AQ. AQ means aqueous form, plus NaCl, that is also called aqueous form, give rise to AgCl. Yes, that is your silver chloride, plus what it is giving, sodium nitrate NaNO3, which is also in aqueous form. Now when you see the next balance, this one balance, what you are finding on the balance, the conical flask color is white in color, because when Ag react with Cl, it give a white color appearance. Now the next chemical equation. You know about the conservation of matter. Now, according to this principle, an equation must be balanced. It must have the same number of atoms of the same kind on both the sides. Now, let's see the chemical equation. Now, reactant is there. I already explained you the substance that exists before a chemical change take place, that is called reactants. The substance which is formed after a chemical change, that is your product, or during the chemical change are called product. That chemical equation indicate the reactant and the product of reaction. That means reactants give rise to products. Now let's see unbalanced and balanced equation. Now when you see here one seesaw is given there, left hand side you are finding 2 molecules of hydrogen and 2 molecules of chlorine is there, and when you see the right hand side, you are what you are finding that 1 atom of hydrogen and 1 atom of chlorine is there. Now you know when the weight is more, that side of seesaw is down and another side will rise up due to the light balance. Same thing is happened to here. When you see this equation, H2 plus Cl2 here give rise to HCl. Now when you count the reactant and product, reactant that means left hand side and right hand side, here both the hand side you are finding the elements above, the 2 elements are used, that is the hydrogen and chlorine. When we talk about reactants, here we have 2 hydrogen in reactants and 2 chlorine in reactants. When we talk about the products, 1 hydrogen and 1 chlorine. Is this balance? No, this is unbalanced equation. Now when you want to balance this equation, what we have to do? When you observe this figure, what you are finding, one more, the right hand side, 1 more chlorine and hydrogen is added. When 1 more chlorine and hydrogen is added, what you are finding, what you are looking there, that seesaw are balanced. Now here what you are looking to, here we are adding 2 in front of HCl, right? Now here by adding 1 more HCl, now let's count it. Now how to count it? The first, same reactant product 2 column, same amount of elements we have to write about H and Cl. When you count is reactant, here we got 2 hydrogen, 2 chlorine. When you count the right hand side, you are going to get same amount, 2 hydrogen, 2 chlorine. Now it is a balanced equation. Now balance, when we talk about the balancing chemical equation, balance equation 1 in which the number of atom of each elements as a reactant is equal to the number of atom of the element as a product. Now balancing chemical equation, number 1, write a word equation from the reaction what I have shown you. Now the number 2, write the correct formula for all reactant and product. Number 3, determine the coefficient that make a equation balanced. Now let's learn about the step in balancing chemical equation. The very first step, when we talk here, a chemical equation is balanced step by step. A trial and error method is used for this purpose. Consider the following equation as example. That is your sodium hydroxide plus sulfuric acid gave rise to sodium sulfate plus water. Now here, after that you have to first write your equation. NaOH plus H2SO4 give rise to Na2SO4 plus H2O. That means your chemical reaction. Now let's do about the step 2. For step 2, check whether the equation is balanced or not by comparing the number of atoms of the various elements present on the 2 sides of the equation. Now see carefully the equation. What you are observing of sodium hydroxide, sulfuric acid, here sodium sulfate and water is given. it is seen that the number of atom of all the elements on the two sides are not the same. It means the equation is not balanced. When you count the left hand side, that means your reactant, and the right hand side, the products, first you have to write all the elements. Here we already written all the elements. This is your NaOH and S. Now just count the left hand side, 1 Na is present, in right hand side 2 is present, O5 is present, both the side 5 is present. When we talk about H, 3 are present here, 2 are present. Now when we talk about S, both are the same, 1 and 1 are present. Now after this we have to move for step 3. Now in step 3, it is convenient to start balancing equation from the compound which contain the maximum number of the atom. Moreover, it is a convention to first consider the element in this compound which has unequal number of atom on the two sides. When you see this here, the two thing, when we take about the initial, here we are going to be take a left hand side initial. This is NaOH, and the right hand side Na2SO4. That means we are taking sodium hydroxide and sodium sulfate. Now initially when we count the initial part that means Na. Just count Na. The left hand side 1 Na is there, and the right hand side 2 Na is there. For making equal, we have to add one more Na, so it become a 2. So what we are going to be do? We are going to be multiply 1 into 2, and we are getting the 2 Na left hand side also. Now when we talk more here, what you are finding, I am putting 2 here. Now here 2 Na and here Na2. That means 2 Na. That means both are, the Na is now balanced. Now see this carefully. When after making 2 Na, I make further what we are observing here. 2 Na equal S11 equal, but the amount of oxygen 6, 5, and the amount of hydrogen 4 and 2 is remaining. Now what we have to do, we have to make both the side equal elements. For that, here we find the equation is not balanced till we are not having the equal amount of atoms. As the number of oxygen and hydrogen atom is unequal on the two sides, first balance the hydrogen number of and require the small factor. Apply now here we are going to apply a factor 2 to the product of H2O for balancing the equation. Now when we are writing the product here, just see coefficient 2 when we are added to H2O. Now check whether the equation is balanced or not. Now when we talk about this, now when you observe this, you are finding then the equation is balanced. Now when we come for the step 4, we have to write down the final balance equation again. Now here we already written the balance equation again, this one. In this way, the balance equation is obtained from the unbalanced equation by applying proper factor to appropriate reactant product so as to balance the number of each element in the step. Now when we talk about this, here we know, now you all are able to do this. Any of the unbalanced equation to balance by using these steps, these 4 steps. Now we saw that in a chemical reaction, reactants get converted into the new substance called product. During this same chemical bond in the reactant break and some new chemical bond are formed so as to transform the reactant into the product. In this chapter we will be study the type of reaction in detail. Now when we talk about the type of reaction, now in the next my online session I am going to be explain you about the type of reaction which contain combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement reaction. Now apart from the type of reaction, we have to learn many things more about oxidation, reduction, redox reaction, then that exothermic reaction, endothermic reaction, corrosion, rancidity. Wait for my next session for the next details. Thank you so much.